quick because I'm tired. Finally got the funeral arrangements done. I finished paying the last part of it today for the obituary. My husband's going to be buried tomorrow, so he's finally going to be in his final resting place. It's been 2 weeks tomorrow's when he passed. I have my family over here. I've got my mother, Elgin's brother, my oldest daughter, and her husband. They have been cleaning my house for me. And I'm really going to have to do something special for them. I don't expect anyone to get on because this is a last minute thing. Thank you, Dora Beth. I didn't expect anyone to come on. I was going to make this a quickie. I just wanted to give an update on what's been going on the last 2 weeks with me. It's hard. I don't like the part about being a widow. That's not fun. But my mother's been with me, so I haven't actually experienced the being alone part yet. And I saw my husband today. He was in the Navy. I don't know if I told y'all that. He did 26 years in the Navy. He started during the Vietnam War and he retired in 1993. And so I saw him today and he's in his dress whites. That's what I wanted him to wear because that's what he wore when we got married. We got married on the naval base in the Navy chapel. And and he looks good, except they put too much makeup on him. I mean, he's got makeup in his eyelashes. He looks terrible. You know, I mean, it's like caked on. It's thick. It doesn't look natural. He doesn't look natural at all. So I'm going to see if they can't take some of that off his face tomorrow because I'm not really pleased with the way he looks, except for his uniform. Now, I got him the best casket that I could get him. It is navy blue. He's laying on navy blue velvet. I mean, how good can you get there, right? With a navy blue velvet. And then when the casket's closed, he's going to be looking at the Navy SEAL. Because I got the Navy SEAL on inside the casket. They said I can take that home. And I says, no, I got it for him. He's the one I want him to have it. I've been doing a lot of crying. I guess you can see from my eyes. It's just been so emotional. You know, the nighttime is the worst. I always came to bed before he did. And so I lay here every night and I'm looking at the bedroom door waiting for him to come in. And first thing he always did was take his medicine. And then he would get in the bed. And then my other thought that goes through my head is the way I found him. I didn't know he died at 4 a.m. on New Year's Eve. I didn't even know. And that's what bothers me mostly, is I didn't know. I'm laying next to him and he's dead. And I didn't even know. So I knew he didn't sleep well. Well, that's what I thought. And usually when he didn't sleep well, I would let him sleep in a little bit. So at 4 o'clock, I'm trying to wake him up. And I said, if you don't get up now, you're not going to go to sleep tonight. And I felt his forehead and it was wet and sweaty. I says, what's going on here? And I went to his side of the bed because I was on my side. I went to his side of the bed and that's when I found him. And his hands were already turning blue and he was cold as anything. So that memory is also sticking with me. I mean, he went in his sleep, which I'm happy about. And I'm glad he's not suffering anymore with that COPD and any pain that he was living with, because he lived with a little pain too. Well, a lot of pain. So I'm glad about that. I just pray to him every night to come to me, hold me, don't forget about me. I want him to, yes, it was 4 a.m. And I talk to him every night. People say I should talk to him every night, so I do. I tell him about my day. I also tell him every night that I love him, and please come see me, especially come see Angel. And if he's in this house, I'll know because Angel, animals, they can see the the features, the face and everything. They can see that. I don't know how, but they can. And I know he's going to come in this house eventually. And when he does, I would know because Angel will see him. And when I see that certain look on her face, then I know he's here. Um, I've always called him my protector. I always felt safe when he was near me, when he was with me. I always felt safe. And I haven't actually been alone, like I said. So here soon, I'm going to be alone. I'm laying in my bed right now. I just took my medicine and I was going to get on my computer and watch a little YouTube, and it decided it wanted to do an update. So I says, well, if it's going to do an update, I'll do an update. But my family's over here. I'm very proud of what they've done. They They have been working on helping me get my house ready because I don't know how many people are coming from out of state. I know I've got some cousins that are coming. His brother is here. His nephew's supposed to be here, so we have six pallbearers. And um, my step nephew is here, and my other step nephew is here with his family and children, and then my brother-in-law and my sister. And I don't know how many people are coming. I have no idea. Uh, I told my family, I says, if it'll fit in the living room, then put it in, I mean, if it fits in the bedroom, then put it in the bedroom. If it fits in my sewing room, just stick it in my sewing room. Because when everybody's gone, then I can go through things and decide what I'm going to keep and what I'm not going to keep. So I'm going to get up early in the morning, probably about 8:30. Try to be at the funeral home by 10 because the viewing's at 11. I've got when he retired, they had a little party for him and they gave him some awards. So I have those awards in the car, plus a flag in one of those, you know, triangle type shapes with the flat bottom. So I've got his flag in the car. I have some of his medals in the car. I also have things that's my computer that you see that my face keeps changing. It's doing its update. I have his medals in the car. I have things that the children wanted to give him. So then I'm going to write him a little note. And see, he's got a little trinket box. That's what I like about this casket. It's got a trinket box. So it's got a key. You unlock it and it comes out. And it's not that big, but it's good enough to put little things in. And his awards and his medals and all that he's gotten over the 26 years, some of them I'm going to put in that trinket box because he deserves to have them with him because he worked hard for those medals. Um, so he So the cemetery is going to be about 20 minutes, 25 minutes from where I live, so that's not too bad. And it's a beautiful cemetery. It's a very old cemetery. I'm going to look it up on the internet. I want to know what year it was started. And so my plot's also paid too. So I took care of mine and his. And this funeral is costing so much money. And then my sister's talking about, well, we're going to have food because everyone's coming over my house. And it's like, I just want to be by myself. I haven't been by myself and I need it. So today I went to the funeral home. I saw him after the funeral home. I went to Walmart and I stayed out all day by myself. I had time for me by myself without somebody with me. And, but then, on the way home, I'm crying because I'm thinking about him. I don't know how I'm going to get through this, but he has set me up pretty good, really, really good. He set me up with Edward Jones. Edward Jones is going to uh, transfer money from his retirement checks into my checking account to pay bills. And he says that there's several steps that I'm going to have to go through in order to get it all figured out. And he doesn't want to tell me too much at one time because he knows that I'm overwhelmed with Elgin's death. My husband's name was Elgin. I don't know if I ever told y'all what his name was before. And I got a little something dirt on my phone. But anyhow, so I talk to him every night. I'm hoping that he's hearing me. I don't know if he is, but I take my medicine, I put my gown on, I sit on the edge of the bed, and I talk to him, and then I blow kisses up to the air. So I hope he hears me. I don't know. I tell him how my day goes. I tell him what I've done during the day, and someone told me I should do that because that's one way to help me um, deal with the grieving part. And they also told me being a widow is going to be a long grieving part. I mean, a long grieving period. My sister-in-law, my husband's sister, she lost her husband 6 months ago, and she's still having a tough time. So she can't come down because she's just not in the right mind to do it, I guess. But see, she was expecting her husband to pass away, but I wasn't expecting it because he was doing good. I had no indication that he was going to die on me, and he went to sleep, no problems. And then I find out that he's passed away at 4 a.m. on Christmas Eve. I mean, Christmas, I'm sorry, New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. He passed away on New Year's Eve. And I said, some way to start my New Year's. But we've been happy. We've got a lot of good memories. And we've also got the bad memories. I mean, we didn't have the perfect marriage, but we we done a lot of things together until he got really sick with a COPD, as the years went, and his breathing was getting worse and worse. And I noticed the last couple of weeks before he passed that his breathing was even getting more worse. He's like all the time, and he has oxygen 24/7. And I told him, I says, you need to go see Dr. Bassetti, which is his pulmonary doctor. He says, I have. And his oxygen was raised. The doctor put him on a different medication for his nebulizer. They even ordered this vest. I had to measure his chest and his stomach, but they ordered this vest. I think it's to help clear his lungs where he can get some breathing going. So I don't know if he had a heart attack. Well, the death certificate says COPD, but I don't know if he had a heart attack. And I don't know because that night he was complaining with his chest hurting. I says, well, let me take you to the emergency room. He says, no. He probably said no because he knew that if I did, he'd be admitted with his COVID. I wouldn't be with him. And so that's probably why he said no, and that would have bothered him if I couldn't be with him because he would always want me with him, and I would always want to be with him too. Computer finally stopped its updating. So that's all the updates I have for right now. I'm not looking forward to tomorrow. I'm getting up at 8:30. I've got to go to the nursing home. I've got to set his flag up that's in the shadow box, and then he has medals and awards and all kinds of stuff in another shadow box. I've got to set that up. Then the things that the children have given him, I need to put in his casket, and then the little things I'm going to put in that little trinket box. But yeah, he's going out in style. I mean, with that white uniform on and all that blue around him and that blue velvet, he looks good, except for the makeup. I don't like the makeup part. So I'm going to ask them, can't they take some of that off? Because it looks crusty right here. It's on his eyelashes real thick and on his eyebrows. And he didn't have any wrinkles or bagging under his eyes, and it looks like there's wrinkles under his eyes. And he didn't have any wrinkles on his face at all. To be 72, he looked really good. And so I'm going to see if they can't take some of that. Well, I just might do it myself. Take me some tissues, and I think I'm just going to wipe around him a little bit and fix him up to look a little bit better. Because I just don't like the way that his face looks. He's got his white gloves on that he wore when he wore his white, they're called dress whites. And so he always wore gloves. And matter of fact, he wore the gloves when we got married. We got married 28 years ago. And I told him, I says, our love is what got us through all these years. That's why we've been married so long, is because of the love we've had for one another. And I told him today at the funeral home, I says, you better have your arms open, because when it's my time to go, you're the first person I'm running for. So you better have your arms open wide for me, because I'm coming. And I hope I don't have to wait as many years as my mother. My mother's been waiting 12 years. My father passed in 2008. And she says she knows exactly what I'm going through, but she didn't have the shock of finding my father dead the way that I did my husband. He was in the hospital when he died, and I was with him. But my father always says he didn't want me and my sister to see him in the hospital when he was dying. And but it didn't bother me. I don't have those memories, to and to think about. When I think about my father, I think about the happy times we've had together, the crazy things that he did when I was a little girl. So he used to we lived in New Jersey, and at Christmas Eve he had these sleigh bells. He'd run around our house like this several times, shaking those bells, and my sister and I'd be looking out the window. And one time I thought I saw Santa Claus up in the sky, and I says, "Oh, look, there he is, there he is." So I ran to get in my bed, and then my father always came running down the hall. Did you hear something? Did you hear Santa Claus? So uh, so those are some of the crazy things my father did with me and my sister. Any time that he had off from work, he spent it with his family. His family always came first, and that's how Elgin was with us. Now, my children are not his. He's their stepfather, but they didn't have their father around because he was too busy being a bum and a drunk. So my husband took the responsibility of raising these girls, and he did a really good job, because these girls, they say that Elgin is their father, not a stepfather. He's their father. And I've always, when I talk about him in the past, I've always told the girls, well, your dad needs to know this or that, or your dad this or that. Um, it's just different things, but I've always said your dad or your father, because that's what he was to them. Because he knew when he married me, I was a single parent working two jobs, raising two children. And when I met him, Renelle, the youngest, she was 8, and Celeste was 10, getting ready to turn 11. And So he took them in right away. But I told him, I said, you need to talk to the girls first before I marry you because I want to make sure that they're going to be comfortable having you around because, you're still fairly new, even though I've known you a year. And he said, okay. And he talked to the girls. I don't know exactly what he said, but he came back and he says, well, the girl says everything is okay with them if I marry you. And I said, okay. And I says, now you need to go talk to my parents. My parents had a motorhome and it was in the driveway of his house because I was living in a ghetto area and drugs, gun shootings, all this stuff going on all the time. And my husband found out about it and he got us out of there. So we lived with him for about 10 months and then we got married. So I've been with him for 29 years. Our wedding anniversary is July 17th. We got married in 1992. We had our first date July 17th, 1991. And I don't I don't know if I'm going to be able. I want to get up and say something about our first year, about how we met. I want I want to talk about how he proposed to me, which he caught me off guard with that, and he was good about catching me off guard with things. And I also want to talk about some of the nice things he did and him being in the Navy and that kind of thing. But then I may be too emotional and then I'll break down in front of everyone, and I don't want that to happen. So it depends on how I feel. Um, I'll probably just talk about the first year. Well, really 2 years. The first year I knew him, and then the first year of us being married. Now, my husband, there's nothing he would have done for me. I was his queen. I was his pride and joy. He was so proud of me. He says that he's never met a girl like me before. And so I says, well, I'm taking that as a compliment. And he always, as you know, mentioned it in the past, I play the organ. And he always told everyone, oh, yeah, my wife plays the organ. She does exceptionally well. Well, my husband was tone deaf. So that tells you a whole lot. And then my sewing. He also said that I was an excellent seamstress. Well, I don't think I was, but or am. But yeah, he was so proud of me, and I was so proud of him. And he'd go to the grocery store and he would always bring me a surprise. It could be flowers, it could be candy, it could be ice cream. I never know what he's going to bring home, but he always had a surprise for me. So I'm trying to remember all the happy times that we've had together. Um, I don't want to remember the bad part of the marriage. I just want to remember the good parts, which there's a lot of good parts to remember. My As I said, my family's here and they're finishing up the cleaning, and I told them, I says, I hate to leave, but I need to get some sleep because I'm going to get up between 8:30 and 9, and it was like 12 o'clock. So I says maybe I can get 7 hours of sleep in. So I'm not going to make this long. I see there's 4 people on here. I have 4 thumbs up. And but I know that a lot of you have been worried about me. And I've been wanting to get on YouTube. I've got some hauls that I would like to do, but I want to wait until everybody's gone and I'm by myself. My mother has been with me from day one. She has helped me when I cry real hard and I'm missing him. She comes to me and she gives me hugs and she talks real soft to me to calm me down like I was a little girl. And the financial parts, she's helped me too. because my husband, he never told me where to look for this help that he set up for me. I tried to get him to tell me and he wouldn't. Well, come to find out, it was Edward Jones. And so I'll be getting all three of his pensions: Social Security, he worked at the paper mill, and then the Navy. And I still have full Navy benefits. So if I go on a military base, then I can go to the commissary, the exchange, I can go anywhere on the base. But anyhow, he's going to have full military, um, what do you call it? Full military honors or something like that. He's going to have the 21 gun salute. He's going to have the flag. And I don't know what else it would be, but I planned this funeral. I hope it goes as planned. I told all of my children and my grandchildren, I says, I told the grandchildren, I said, if you don't want to see Grandpa, you don't have to. You remember Grandpa the way you want, if that's what you want to do. That's your decision. They're 9 and 13. So I says, that is your decision. Then I told my two daughters, I says, if you don't want to see your father, you don't have to. I said, the casket's going to be open, but you don't have to see him. And then they're going to close it at 12 o'clock when the service starts. And I have a preacher lined up that my sister works with, and she's the only preacher I really know, because LJ and I stopped going to church because of the COVID-19. And with his oxygen and everything, I didn't want him to take a chance because the churches opened up and they weren't really doing a lot of the 6 foot space distance or whatever. And even though he wore a mask, I still didn't feel comfortable him going out. And so we stopped going to church. So I've got things to keep me busy right now, cleaning the house and making room for the food and everything that we're getting catered. I says, look, just put it in my sewing room or put it in my bedroom. My bedroom is off the kitchen, so I'm going to have that door shut so nobody can see in here. And then after everyone's gone, then I can dig in, take my time, and decide what do I really need. And if I tell myself, I really don't need this, it hasn't been used in a long time, it's going in the thrift store box. I have 3 boxes in the back of my car. I'm going to run by the thrift store on the way to the cemetery. I mean the funeral home. And this cemetery is a very historical cemetery. I think it started in the 1800s. I'm not sure. But he's under a shaded tree. My plot's already been made, so I told my children, I says, you don't have to worry about that. I'm going to have money set up so you can pay for my funeral. And my oldest daughter says, I don't want to hear this. And I says, okay. I says, but I thought you needed to know. So I'm going to stay in this house, but if it gets to the point that um, I feel like it's too big for me, I'll probably go to like a senior retirement community type thing. But then they have all those stupid rules, HOAs and all that, where my house, where it's at, I live in the country and I'm on an acre piece of property. I have no HOAs, so my husband and I, we did not like doing HOAs. So we've never did that before and we were not about to. So anyhow, I didn't want to stay on here too long. Like I said, I just want to do a quick update. I just got through talking to my husband. And so that's all I can think of. I appreciate everyone that I see that's on here. I see 6 people on here. All I've seen is Dora Beth, the Yarny Zebra, on here. If any of y'all want to come in and say hello real quick before I stop the live video, let me know who you are. I know that I get messages. Um, people telling me that they're concerned about me and they're sorry about my husband. And so I'm still getting like sympathy emails or sympathy messages from YouTube and from the subscribers. Okay, well, I know Dora Beth is on here and whoever else is on here. I appreciate you listening to this. I love everyone. I am grateful for everyone that has uh, checked on me. I guess that's the word I want to think of. And I'm just thankful that I have all of you because you're my family, you're my friends, and I really appreciate every subscriber that I have because I don't think of y'all as subscribers, I think of y'all as friends. Okay, well, I'm very, very tired, and I don't know if anyone's going to be popping in my bedroom because I was getting ready to do the live, and the live button come up to click on, and my mother comes walking in. Where's your step stool? So, uh, okay, well, whoever is out there besides Dora Beth, um, I'm going to say goodbye for now. I do have some hauls that I've been wanting to do, and I've been missing doing my videos. I have really been missing it. And I don't know when I'm going to do the next one. Uh, I think my mother's going to stay with me a few days after the funeral, and then she's going to go home. So I'm just taking, I told my sister, I says, I'm taking minute by minute, day to day. That's all I know to do. So I'm very sad right now, very unhappy. And I don't know what else to say. Okay, well, I'm going to let everyone go. I love you all. And I think about all of you every day. Because every day I think, oh, I want to do a video. But I haven't. So I'm going to let you go. It's late at night. I got to get up at 8:30 so I can have some waking up time with my coffee and get me a bowl of cereal and then get dressed and head to the funeral home. And oh yeah, he's got a little kiss where his hairline meets his forehead. I kissed him on his forehead today, so he has lipstick there. We had a joke about that. Sometimes when I would just put makeup on, I had my lipstick on, he would tell me, he says, come give me a kiss. And I says, well, I just put some lipstick on. He says, it doesn't matter. It's your lipstick. So, I'm thinking about the times that we would joke with each other and uh, the things that we did. Now, my husband had a saying. Whenever there was something that we would do together, he says, we're having together time. So, that was a saying of his. We having a good, and then he also, before, I think it was either before our first date or after the first date, he called me and we were chatting and he called me Sweetums. And he called me Sweetums for 29 years. And that name is so special to me. So, okay, well, like I said, I'm going to let everyone go. I see that 3 people have left, and I guess because it's time to go to bed. And I'm trying to get myself in a routine, and that's hard because 2 nights in a row I forgot to clean the cat box out. So it kind of smells in there. But my laundry room is attached to the kitchen. So I'm going to put my cat in the laundry room just in case she's got to go and put her food in there and lock and shut the door that comes into the kitchen and shut that door. Angel, she gets anxious, and when there's a lot of people around, it's like she's not sure what to do. So I'm gonna have to keep her in the bedroom tomorrow. Okay, well, good night, everyone, and I will talk to you the next time that I feel that I can without the tears rolling down my face. Because I don't want to be crying when I'm doing a YouTube video, a haul or video or whatever. And, oh yeah, and I think I told y'all, but I opened up an eBay store. And so I've been putting products in there. And I don't remember the the shop web address. But when I do, I'll let you know if you want to, just check out. Because right now I just have some sewing patterns in there, but I'm going to be putting some things that I make in there. It's called Vintage Sewing Shop, Shoppe. So anything I make is going to go in there. Crochet books that I sell, knitting books I sell. I've got a really nice rug making book and a nice needlework book that I think some of y'all would be interested in. So I start with the bids and then I do make an offer. So okay, well, I'm definitely going to go this time. My eyes are getting ready to shut and I can get on my laptop now and watch some of your videos. I've been keeping up with your videos since I haven't been on mine. So I've been watching just about everyone. Like today, what's her name? Llama something. And she got on and she said Walmart had Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo for 64 cents. I found it. My store didn't have all the colors that she was showing. I wanted the Christmas variegated and the cameo variegated, but they didn't have any of that. But I did get some Aran colors and I did get some blacks for 64 cents. So go to her video and she can tell you more about it. Oh, here comes my mother. So I guess I better get off of here. She's kind of smiling, but I think I'm getting that mother look.
I think it's sleepy time.
Well, I told my mother I was coming in here to go to sleep. So I am. I'm in the bed.
You're that far.
I'm that far. I'm in the bed. I just got through talking to Elgin. So I talk to him every night. And I'm
Okay.
just giving an update on the funeral and stuff.
Okay.
And I was saying some sweet things about you, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I told them, I
Oh,
says, you've been with me since day one and you've been taking care of me and doing all kinds of things.
yeah.
Yeah, mothers never stop taking care of their children, no matter how old they are.
That's right.
Yeah, mine are 40 and 36, and I'm still there for them.
Yeah. Where everybody's gone except Charlie and me.
Okay,
The
well,
house looks great in here. You're going to be surprised in the morning.
I appreciate everything that everyone did. I
Yeah.
really do. And I'm so proud of Celeste and Ryan.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yes, it was.
Yep. Redecorated.
Yes. And I like some of the stuff y'all did, and I may keep it that way. It
Yeah.
looks a lot roomier.
It'll be easy to keep up now. It's clean.
Yep, it would be easy. I just have this mess in here to deal with in my sewing room.
Hmm?
I said I have this mess in here to deal with in my sewing room.
Yeah. Well, you can take your time on that.
Yep, I sure can.
Okay, good night.
Good night. I love you.
Love you too.
Okay. Now she's leaving. I have a fantastic mother. You know, I cannot complain. She's a fantastic mother. I mean, what mother would come the day she finds out that my her son-in-law passed away and she's been staying with me for the last 2 weeks. As tomorrow, well, it's officially Thursday now, the 14th. It's 2 weeks since he's been gone today, Thursday. And so she's been a big help. I mean, I am doing a lot of crying, and I also yelled at my sister, and because I'm just tired and I want to get him taken care of. And I've been worried about him because he's been in the funeral home for 2 weeks. And I don't like that. The reason is because I was trying to raise some money so I can pay for the funeral. And then the funeral home tells me, well, we care more about you than we do the money. Okay, so why did you not um, um, do whatever you do? Get him ready or whatever. We could have had the funeral sooner instead of waiting 2 weeks. This was ridiculous. And I wanted an autopsy because I wanted to see what really killed him. But I'm just thinking it was a heart attack. And I also noticed that when I found him, his nose that goes into his hose that goes into his nose, it was down here. So evidently he couldn't get the breath or the oxygen that he was supposed to get, and I think that also killed him. So I will be on. I don't know when my next video will be, but it will be a haul video. And my sewing room got messed up again. I was doing so good. I was starting to get it looking halfway decent. Now it's all messed up again. So. Oh well, that'll keep me busy. And then I've been taking pictures for eBay, so that's going to keep me busy. And then I have my organ, and then I've got my sewing machines. And so I have a lot to keep my mind occupied. All right, well, good night, everyone. I hope you have a good day or good night whenever you're watching this. Please subscribe, click the like channel, leave comments and questions, and I love every one of you. And thank you for your condolences. Thank you for caring about me. And thank you. I've noticed that a couple of people have said something about my husband passing. And so I was real appreciative of that. And so I will let you go, and you have a good night, and I will see you, I don't know when. Maybe in a week, maybe two, I'm not sure, but you will see me again. All right, well, bye-bye, everyone. And you take care, and you be careful of that COVID-19. Protect yourself, because I don't want any of my friends to come down with it. And so you take care of yourself, you eat healthy, and don't go out if you don't really need to go out. That's what I do. I stay home most of the time, and so I don't have to go out and get around all these people. Okay, well, where is the off button? I guess I click on this X up here. Okay, well, I will talk with y'all later. Bye-bye for now.